Hi, and welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in today's video, we're discussing the new Social Security Expansion Act that's been proposed and what it may mean for you. We have inflation hitting most Americans, but for Social Security recipients, the rise in inflation has been far greater, I would say, wouldn't you,
Yes.
than the cost of living adjustments or the COLA. So to help with this, the Social Security Expansion Act that was introduced just a few days ago, June 9th, by Republican Peter DeFazio in Oregon and also Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. So, Brian, you've had a chance to review what's out there. What highlights can you give viewers?
First of all, House Rep Peter DeFazio of Oregon and both Bernie Sanders, the senator for Vermont, proposed this. And here's what some of the big keyword that you see in all the headlines out there, Michelle, is an increase of $200 a month across the board for current and new recipients. That's that's $2,400 extra dollars a year into the pockets of every American right now that's receiving Social Security benefits or will be receiving them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the number one thing that really sticks out. Okay.
Okay.
But that's spending more, right? So to offset that spending, we've got to create more money for the system. So how they
Payroll
do that?
tax, payroll tax.
Payroll tax. We've talked about this in some of our past videos too.
Sure.
One of the ways to shore up Social Security is to increase the payroll tax and take it to higher limits. And that's what's proposed inside here. So they want to subject all income above $250,000 in income to the payroll tax. Currently, Michelle, the cap is $147,000 per year. So think about that for a second. And this is their big argument. Okay, somebody making a CEO of a corporation making $20 million a year. Okay,
Sure.
They're capped at $147,000, same as you and I. Okay, but they make 20 million while we made 147,000, right? So why shouldn't there be a difference as far as should they pay equal to what they're making? And that will offset this. And according to these estimates, Michelle, it's supposed to shore it up for 75 more years by doing this. So that's one big way.
All right. What else is in this?
Okay. I like this part of it. Increase the cost of living adjustments by adopting what's called CPI-E. And this is the Consumer Price Index for the elderly.
Oh, wow.
This is huge because, Michelle, honestly, where do the elderly spend their money?
Healthcare.
Healthcare and prescription drugs, right?
Prescription drugs.
So why not have a consumer price index based on the rising prices of that for them?
Transportation is another big one, right?
Yeah, transportation, healthcare, prescription drugs. What are they doing with their funds? Why should cost of living adjustments be based on the gas prices out there today or other things? They're not out there spending and buying big screen TVs and stuff like that, right? I agree with this. This would be really about the seniors and taking care of them. So
this one would really more accurately measure the spending patterns of seniors. I get that. Okay, great. What else we got?
Okay, another way to help pay for this is the bill would also require the wealthy pay the same 12.4% on their investment and business income by increasing the net investment income tax by 12.4% and applying it to certain business income that's not already covered by payroll taxes. Think of corporations that have pass-through income, okay?
Right.
That pass-through income don't have to pay the 12.4% Social Security and Medicare. So think about that. This is a way to increase that. So,
all right. So what else do we have?
Increase in special minimum benefit for Social Security recipients to make it increase and index the benefit level so it's equal to 125% of the poverty line, or about $17,000 for every single worker who had worked their full career. This is huge. This is raising the poverty level by increasing most recipients of Social Security income up to at least $17,000 for a single worker.
Okay.
Next thing we've seen in there, restore student benefits up to the age 22 for children of disabled or deceased workers. If the child is a full-time student or in a college or vocational school. That
So
had
you just said
dropped
restore.
in the
Was
past.
this taken out at some point?
Yeah, one time it was, if I remember correctly, it was either 83 or 1983 or 1986 that was removed. So,
Okay. All
and
right.
then
What else?
last is combine the disability insurance trust fund with the old age and survivors trust fund to help senior citizens and persons with disabilities. So there's a
Okay.
lot of good pieces inside here. So,
Well, let me ask you, I have a few questions, if I may.
yes.
Number one, do you think that this, I mean, yes, if you look at you mentioned increase the $200 a month across the board for current and new recipients. That's a lot of money a year,
Right.
but is it enough?
I'm not a senior today,
Okay.
but seniors that I know that are currently receiving benefits, it's not enough. It's not enough. And here's why. Every time they increase the COLA adjustments, all that does is increase the cost of their Medicare.
Right.
So who's actually winning here? They're not getting no more extra in their pocket because it's going right back out the door into the higher cost of healthcare.
Healthcare,
in
prescription
retirement.
drugs. Right.
Right. It's not enough.
Okay.
So,
All right. So the second question is, you know, I don't know how to say this. I'll just say it.
I love it.
We have midterms elections coming up.
Yes.
So we have seen you, and I've talked on this channel a few times about some new legislation that's been put forth in different areas. Is this going to be able, is this something to get people's attention and hopefully, you know, get votes? Or do you think this has a chance of actually passing? Like how, I'll leave it at that.
Great question. And I'll say in my nearly 25 years as a financial advisor, Michelle, I've seen proposals like this, and it always seems to coincide with an election year, whether it be a midterm or whether it be a presidential election year. I've seen this, okay? We've talked about Social Security going broke for 25 years, me personally, okay? And somebody needs to do something about it. All these proposals have been done before, but were never implemented. And guess what? Right now you've got, and it doesn't matter which political party you're talking about. This wasn't done when all Republicans had the White House and the Senate and all of Congress, right? And now the Democrats having a majority control. Guess what?
It doesn't matter.
Not being passed. It's a talking point. And why I mean it's a talking point is because if you go out there and look at 8 or 10 different articles, you type in Social Security Expansion Act right now in Google, you're going to see all these different things from the Wall Street Journal to CNN to Fox
all the
News.
same talking points.
They all have the same talking points. It was like they all got into a Zoom meeting and says, hey, here's how we're going to introduce this. And I love these proposals. Don't get me wrong. I think this would work, but it's not enough, number one. And number two, they're basically what we're seeing is they're using this as a, look, the other side's going to cut your benefits. Here's what we're trying to do. Well, guess what? You've been trying to do it for 25 plus years.
I know
that I know of. Okay.
Which is a real shame because that COLA, like increasing COLAs by adopting the consumer price index for elderly is actually a really great, it's a great metric because you have to track this differently. Once you retire, it's a whole new ball game and you have different needs and you have different, right? And you're right. You're not running out and buying maybe you are, but you know, a super duper sound system thing and you're not buying X, Y, and Z for the kids. And it's a different,
the majority are paying for the prescriptions.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And so, I mean, that's where we're at right now. I don't know if this will go through. I like it, but I've seen it before. Okay. And I just don't think any of it will go through, even though our consumers do need it and it needs to be done. Congress will act at the very last minute to get it done, just like they always do. It's
so, okay, real quick.
Hour.
It's easy to take and I get it. I get that you've seen this for 25 years. But is there anything, I mean, this is something we can call our Congress people about. I mean, I'm always looking at
this is a great proposal.
Yeah. So
And
get
I
on the
did see,
phone.
I did see that 93% of the people in the United States would, none of their taxes would be raised because of it, for 93% of the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's that great, let's get it passed.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Let's get forums going on about it. It's just not happening. So
All right. So one thing that viewers can do right now is make phone calls.
make phone calls.
Do your
Exactly right.
research. Look into this. I mean, you're starting with this video, do some more research, make some phone calls. I always am calling and asking questions like, what can you tell me? What is it? How does this congressperson feel about this? Can you give me more information? You can call their offices, both in DC and your local offices.
Yep.
There you go.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks, Brian, for this. If you like the content of this video, make sure to hit that like button. Do subscribe to this channel. We put out a lot of videos on Social Security and other, retirement tips that may be beneficial. So thank you, Brian. And thanks everybody who watched
Thanks,
to the
everybody.
end. Have a good one.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye.